I'm out on an artist date. I set myself the intention to have fun and to be playful and to feel free. That's not like a place where I operate from, but I'd love to live life a bit more like that. I'd love to live from like a more playful state and just let things be. I found this really lovely spot, and when I came here in autumn, the trees here are apple trees, and it literally looks like a fairy place because there's like a river, and then you're met with like apple trees and loads of beautiful things to forage. And I finally found a field with dandelions, and I've been looking for a field of dandelions to forage, and I had a feeling I might find some here, so it's a good day. I started the Artist Way. I started reading the Artist Way, and I'm still only on week one. I read about the morning pages and the artist date, and I've started doing the morning pages, which have been really, really good. I feel like it just gets all of the things that are going on in my mind on a page earlier in the day, and it feels like it creates space for anything else that's to come past the thoughts that like consume me, past the thoughts that like kind of impact my day. So yeah, I keep pushing myself to try and start the artist date, to start doing like an artist date like during the week, once a week. And it can be for something like 2 hours, and the idea is that you take yourself out on a date to let yourself have a bit of fun and basically be with your like child creative self. And I've been putting it off because I feel like I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to be like, what's the perfect date to like get me like motivated, to get me to like, yeah, what's like the perfect date? Just like trying to make it really perfect, like feeling like I can't film, feeling like, oh, but like should I be reading, like I was thinking of going out for a coffee and to read The Artist Way, and I was like, oh, but should I be really reading The Artist Way on a date, on like a coffee date? Like, is that, but the way I'm thinking about it is like, I need to just start, see what feels good for me, see what doesn't, and listen to that, and see what feels playful and what doesn't, and see what feels like a creative date and what doesn't. I'm also taking a break from work. It's just how things happened. And it's such a blessing that I finally have time to rest. But I feel like because I'm the type of person that's like constantly trying to achieve things, I'm a perfectionist. I feel like I feel like it's been tough because the aim for me to take this time off as well is to like finally slow down. And it's been a challenge. And I know I'm so blessed to have this time. And I'm so grateful for this time. But it doesn't make my feelings any less valid. And with having this time off, I'm trying to refigure out what I want to do in life. What's my purpose in life? Why am I here? What the hell am I supposed to be doing? I see so many people doing like their niche thing, and they have a message, and it just seems that they have a purpose. And who knows, again, like who knows what they're going through because it's online. And I know all that, but I'm like, I don't know that I fully understand what I'm doing yet. And I'm trying to live this more like creative, I'm trying to like live from this more creative place, and I want to live a more creative life. But I'm not sure what I want to say what I'm supposed to be doing. I know I'm not supposed to be doing anything particular. Like at the end of the day, it's up to me. But it's like, yeah, I'm just scared, I guess, because I'm like, I don't have my niche. I don't have my like, I'm a painter. I love doing videos. I love doing, like, I just have a multitude of things. Which brings me to this idea of like, I think in the current culture, the goal is to focus on one thing. The goal is to like get one thing and master that, and that's kind of what we value. And I think because I have multiple passions, I think that I'm finding it hard to accept that and to figure out how to navigate that when that's not the norm. Because I feel like I like I like writing. I like creating visuals and creating feeling. I like crocheting. I like painting. And who knows what God, like who knows what else I like. And I'm like, but there's no space for that in the world. There's no space, there's no time. You have to pick one thing and you have to focus on that. And I don't know, the thought of that doesn't give me energy. The thought of that, for now at least, it doesn't when I think of that, it makes me feel small. It makes me feel like I'm screwed. It makes me feel like I don't fit in the world. And the YouTuber that I've talked about in a previous video, I Understood, her name is, on YouTube. She talks about being multi passionate, and she talks about how we need your multi passions and how you're multifaceted, and that's okay. And it's okay that the current culture doesn't really value that, but that's okay. And we need that, and you can like try pave your own path, and that's what I want to do. And maybe I'm being like super optimistic. Maybe you do just have to pick one thing. Maybe it's not viable. I don't know though, but I want to try, and I don't want to, like, I'm living one life, and I don't want to like make myself small or like limit myself and tell myself you can only do this or you can only do that. Of course, again, I will say I know I'm very privileged to even think in this way. I Previous to this, I felt like there was no way out. I was working like a corporate job, and I just felt like there was no way out. I felt like that's what you just have to do. You just have to keep going. Yeah, I don't know, that just wasn't fulfilling for me. And I feel like I want more. And if I need to go back and make money in that way, fair enough. But I feel like I want more. And there's like this drive in me to try and get more for myself. But at the same time, I just wake up some days and I'm like so demotivated, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I should probably just go back to corporate. And I don't know how things will unfold, and I don't know how the future will unfold, but I at least want to try. And I really want to live this more like creative, fulfilling life. I don't want to be like really old and be like, fuck, I wanted to paint more, you know? I don't know. I'm like really figuring it out, and I don't know what the best thing to do is. I really don't. I'm like figuring it out, and I'm so scared, full of fear, and sometimes I just feel like giving up. I find it so hard to just like play by the system and just, I don't know, it makes me feel like an alien, you know? Even going into like the corporate job, it made me feel like an alien. I know. It feels like I'm looking at the camera and I'm just having an internal dialogue, and I'm just actually talking about it. And I'm figuring it out. And I think the beauty of it all is that I can make mistakes, and that it's so it's so beautiful that we're humans and we have this gift of ever changing. And I think that that's what's also pushing me to be more vulnerable online, because I'm like, if people look at my videos and they're like judging me based on like moments or based on what I share, like that's fine. Like that's okay. I'm ever changing, and I might make mistakes, and I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine, you know? But the beauty of what I know in my heart is that I'm ever changing. And so it makes it easier to share, because you could easily make mistakes, but you can also change. I'm just figuring my life out, and I feel so lost. I feel so lost. I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? And I'm trying to rephrase it and like, what do I want to do? It's all just so new to me. It's so new to me. And I'm so grateful again for this time that I have to even think about it. I wrote something in my journal today that I really want to share with you. You see, though, I find it hard to see what I am the artist of. What's my art? I read a quote in The Artist's Way that says that if artists could choose labels, they'd probably choose none. And I may be an artist in who I am and in how I want to live. I may not know what my craft is, but I'm on the journey to figuring it out. And I think being able to read The Artist's Way during a time like this is helpful. It came at the perfect time. Although I'm positive in some sense about it, I also know that deep inside of me I feel lost. I'm scared. I fear that I might not be an artist at all. I fear that I'm wasting my time and I'll fail. Like if I know, like if only I knew, like, oh, I'm trying to become a singer, then I think it'd be easier. But I like so many things and I want to be so many things. As Aya, that YouTuber that I was talking about, put it, you can be multifaceted, and we need that in the world. The current culture teaches you that it's one thing you need to pursue and master. But what if your artistic self needs to be expressed in multiple ways? I find that hard to accept about myself, but I want to allow it. To a certain extent, I feel excited about it. From painting to drawing to crocheting, writing, compiling visuals, and creating feeling. Who knows who I am? but I want to create space and allow myself to become. As I've said, I really wanted to find dandelions to forage, and I found some on this field. And I'm excited. I'm going to make a little ointment from them for my skin. I remember when I was younger, we used to pick dandelions and chain them to make a necklace. So it feels like a really beautiful way to revisit them, but in a different way. And yeah, if you didn't know, dandelions are really nutritious. You can eat the leaves, you can eat the flower, you can eat the root, you can make tea from them. I think some people even make coffee from the root. There are these beauties here, and these are their leaves. I'm foraging with loads of grass around me, and I really hope I don't get any ticks. I was going to forage nettle, and if you're not familiar with nettle, it's that one that when you put your hand in it or your legs in it, it stings you and it gives you those like red bits and it makes it really itchy. And it's really nutritious. It's supposed to be more nutritious than spinach, high in protein. So I'm going to be making like tea with it. And I'd love to make a wild garlic and a nettle soup. I really want to try and make that because I've had it once and it was really delicious. So yeah, there's loads of nettle around here, so I'm going to get some nettle. This is all of that is actually, you can kind of see it on the thing. All of this is nettle. All of that. And we're gonna pick it with our hands because we're crazy. If you do pick nettle a certain way, it actually doesn't really sting you. At least not that bad. So if you like find a way, if you can find a way in. Ooh. These are very small, so it's actually harder for me to go in and grab them. Yeah, if you go in and grab it like that, that one didn't sting. As long as you kind of go in, like count the first 3 sets of leaves. So you count 1, 2, 3, and then you grab the stem and pull it out this way. You grab it firmly and pull it out this way, and then that shouldn't sting. And the reason why we only pick the first part of it, like some people pick more and stuff, but it's just that the first kind of the first part of the nettle is just the freshest. But again, some people pick it all and it's all good. Among all the nettle, there is also this plant called sticky willy. I don't know the correct name, so I'm going to look it up. And it's basically this one here. It has these little small sort of grippy sticky parts, hence sticky willy. Like if you attach it to yourself, it'll stick. But some people use it and they put it in water overnight and then drink it. I don't actually know what nutrients it has in it, and I'm sure that there's other things you could do with it, but I'm yet to figure that one out, so I'm going to take some of this as well. And I love sharing this with you as I'm doing it, and as I'm not like knowing all of the facts, and as I'm just going along my day, it feels more natural to sort of share with you like this. But here we have sticky willy. Oh yeah, let me look up so yeah, another name for it is cleavers. I'm reading the first week in The Artist's Way, and if you haven't heard of The Artist's Way, it's basically like a 12-step. To me, it sounds very similar to like Alcoholics Anonymous and that type of thing, but I think it works well. So basically, you go through 12 weeks of every week doing different exercises and reading different chapters, and then on top of that, every week you have like your artist date and your morning pages. And I finished reading week 1. And I haven't been doing it perfectly so far. I still need to like sign this contract with myself that she shares and stuff. Anyway, I'm at the very beginning, but I wanted to share with you what she talks about. So in week 1, it's all about creating this like safety inside of yourself. And she talks about, for people who are artists, they often hide themselves as like shadow artists. So they'll often maybe like look up to people who are already artists or live through them. You know, you have artists who maybe like try to date other artists and really encourage them and really push them. They just don't feel like they can step into it, or they don't feel like they're artists. And they live through others. Yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it. And she also talks about how shadow artists often maybe didn't get the support to become artists. They maybe didn't get the encouragement, or there just wasn't the means at home, or the belief that, you know, you can be an artist in the world and still have an income, still be sane, all of these types of beliefs that surround the artist life, you know. She also talks about how when you start to go on this artistic path, especially coming from being a shadow artist, how you should take it easy and not over push yourself, and try to do it with like small steps, baby steps, because it's a long journey rather than just something that you want to like quickly get over and done with. And if you do try to like do it overnight, you will, you know, you might just push yourself to not do it. So I think that's interesting, because I'm already finding this like tension of like, I need to know what am I going to do. I need to figure it out, and maybe I don't need to have it figured out. Maybe I'll just figure it out in time. With every creative project that I do, with every small silly drawing that I do, allowing myself to be this beginner, allowing myself to like make bad art. By doing that, maybe over time I'll slowly figure out where I need to be and who I am. Because yeah, I just feel like I'm coming out of like shadowing artists and being a shadow artist myself. So as I'm coming out of that, yeah, it definitely feels really overwhelming, and it's really reassuring that straight away in the first week she's like, just take it in baby steps, do small things. And then she moves on to like, one of the exercises that she suggests to do for the first week is to work with your negative core beliefs. Negative core self beliefs. I don't know. And your negative core beliefs are basically beliefs that were placed onto you, not by you necessarily, but by other people around you. So whether that be like family or friends, people who told you maybe you can't do it, or maybe didn't support you, or yeah, worse, put you down. Just any sort of negative core self-beliefs that you have, to work with them, to name them, and she gives you a whole exercise with that. But yeah, I just want to share this with you because I think that it's a path that I feel like many of us feel called to, but we're very afraid, and this book just seems to be so amazing. So I'm excited to like continue it, and I feel like I'm already finding myself in it a lot, and it feels really reassuring. And I love that it starts first to talk about safety and finding safety in yourself and taking baby steps and creating bad art. And I think I just need to like breathe and slow down and create bad art, and also learn how to be my own friend on this path, learn how to be somebody that doesn't put me down, somebody that doesn't give into those voices. And she talks about having affirmations for yourself. So for any core belief, any negative core belief that you have, just rephrase it as a positive affirmation. And I love that, because I think during this time I really need to be my own friend